This is a high-level technical analysis of the Volatility 75 index, and what we'll do in regards to the technical analysis of this index is look at it from the monthly chart and all the way to the H4 chart. And so guys, let's not waste any further time and get straight into the actual analysis. And as I said, we are on the monthly chart, and on the monthly chart we can actually see that the market had given us this, you know, double top, right? And ideally, guys, because this double top started at this point, we want to see price continue to move further down to around that level. So what I'm saying in other words is that long term, we are still going to see this particular index move from this box over here or this consolidation zone and all the way to that level to complete this double top or M formation, right? So anyway, that's the monthly chart. Let's head down to the weekly chart. However, before we head down to the weekly chart, I just also want to point out that before price actually heads down to around this level, right, to complete that structure, I believe that we are likely going to see the market head up to that level first and then push further down. Why do I say so? That is because we have this candlestick over here, and what it is, guys, is I always say a bullish candlestick with a small body and quite a long upper wick. And where that wick ends at the top, we know that we have a lot of liquidity there. And guys, liquidity is money, and that money needs to be triggered by the market at one point or another. So we're likely going to see, guys, as I said, price from where it is actually move further up to the tip of that candlestick, and at that point is where we'll likely see price move further down to complete this structure that I spoke about. Anyway, from here, let's head down to the weekly chart and see what exactly it is that's happening down there. Just bear with me. And here we are on the weekly chart. Just to recap, remember on the monthly chart we spoke about how we have that huge M structure, and we said that it started at this point, and ideally we expect price to move further down to that level to close in line with where it had started, right? But here we are on the weekly chart, and on the weekly chart we spoke about how price, or rather on the monthly chart we spoke about how price at this point in time is within this block over here, and we spoke about that one candlestick at the top that's carrying all of that liquidity, and we said that we expect price to actually head up to grab that liquidity and then move further down, right? But we can see that in regards to the weekly chart, the market at this point in time is consolidating. It's moving sideways, but as I said, guys, I believe that we are going to see price move up to the candlestick that I spoke about, and once that happens, we will likely see the market move further down, right? What else do we see in regards to the weekly chart? At this point, I don't see much, although it seems as if the market or price has given us what seems to be an inverted head and shoulders pattern, with this side being the left shoulder, this being the head, and this area over here being the right hand shoulder. And it has a neckline at that point. And what this means is that we may see price closing sufficiently above the neckline, come back to the neckline, and then push further up to around this level over here, which is where I said we expect price to head to, because we have a lot of liquidity there, and then we may potentially see the market move further down, right? Anyway, from here, let's head down to the daily chart and see what else is happening, right? And here we are on the daily chart, and to recap, remember on the weekly chart we spoke about price, rather we spoke about how price had given us that inverted head and shoulders pattern, and that we may see price actually close sufficiently above the neckline, come back to the neckline, and then at the neckline is where we may see it push further up to that level that we spoke about, and then at that level is where we may see price continue to move further down, right? But what do we see on the daily chart? As I said, guys, on the daily chart we can see that the market is consolidating. It's moving rather sideways, right? And we don't really have any proper market structure. So based on the daily chart, I really wouldn't be, looking for buy or sell opportunities for that matter. But we can see that as much as the market is moving sideways, we had a very nice M structure here, which had a neckline at that point. We saw price at this point breaking to the upside of that neckline, then come down to the neckline to test it. And at this point over here is where we may see price continue to move further up to those levels that I spoke about, right? But as far as buying or selling, at this point I don't really see any opportunities. From here, let's head down to the H4 chart and let's have a look. H4 chart, just bear with me, guys. Just bear with me, guys. All right, here we are on the H4 chart, And again, just to recap, remember on the daily chart we spoke about how the market had given us this huge M structure with or rather a W structure with you know a neckline at that point, and we saw price break into the upside, come down to the neckline to give it a test. And at this point is where I said we may potentially see price hit up to all of those levels that I spoke about, right? But as far as buying, again, on the H4 chart, I really don't see any opportunities. Although I see that we also have over and above us having that W structure on the daily chart, we have this head and shoulders pattern which also has a neckline at the point, and we can see that the neckline has been violated. But in as far as buying goes, again guys, at this point I don't see any buy opportunities. Anyway, from here I'm just gonna head down to the weekly chart, right? And remember guys, on the monthly chart we spoke about how we expect price to actually hit up a bit. If I can just drop it, hit up a bit to stop hunt, and then move further down to complete this huge multi-session M structure, right? And remember also that I said because the structure started, if I can just draw it, the structure started at this point, right? Ideally, we want to seed and at that level in line with where it started, right? Because the market had given us this huge double top or M structure, and we want to seed and at that level in line more or less with where it has started. So as I said, what I'm saying in other words is that yes, we do have this area over here of consolidation, but we're likely going to see price move up to grab all of those liquidity points and then move further down to complete that structure. So that's my analysis in as far as the volatility 75 index goes, and peace out.